The humanitarian organization, the World Food Program, reported between 720 million to 811 million people face hunger globally. Out of those millions, the United Nations reports that 25,000 people lose their lives to hunger every day. As the Earth faces a serious situation, the main objective should be to suppress those numbers and find ways to end world hunger. With science constantly evolving, the solution to this problem could be genetically modified organisms, also known as GMOs. Though GMOs have been highly frowned upon recently, the use of these modified crops can be used to solve a global issue and help us in the long run. Hello, my name is Martinez, and first we will discuss the growing issue around the use of GMOs. Second, we'll go over how GMOs can withstand outside factors better than organic crops. And third, we'll look at other great qualities that GMOs could have. Now that we have seen the issue that we are facing, let's get into it. As the world continues to get older, we continue to populate. It was reported by the United States Census Bureau that in July 2021, there were around 331 million people living in the United States. Flash forward to today, in early May 2022, the United States Census Bureau reported that around 332 million people in the country. Though it may seem like a small increase, the need for more food is increasing. To add to that, Daniel Norero, a writer for Alliance for Science, conducted a paper in 2018 that lists that by 2050, our food will have to increase by 10% due to the growing population. Another study by PG Economics researched genetically modified crops from 1996 to 2015. They concluded that global production of GMO corn, soybean, cotton fiber, and canola were all significantly growing at a fast pace and allowed the reduction in use of our agricultural land due to our crops being able to grow quicker. Meaning that we don't need as much space for growth for crops. As the demand and food supply increases, this may not be the time to have the use of GMO crops reduced or even diminished. As shown, GMOs are able to produce a great amount of food that the world will need if the population continues to become larger. Who knows how fast our production of these crops would be if they weren't genetically modified, let alone survive. Survival is key for these crops as they need to survive growing in order to use them. A big issue about organic crops is that they're a lot more sensitive to environmental factors and could be damaged easily. Well, many of the genetically modified crops that grow nowadays were made to prevent any crop loss. According to the Food and Drug Administration, also known as the FDA, scientists have developed GMO crops to have three common traits. The first, having enough resistance to insect damage. It was reported that at least 40% of these crops are lost to pests globally almost every year. So being able to create a crop that can withstand insects destroying it is important. The second trait is that they need to be tolerant to herbicides. Herbicides are used on crops to prevent unwanted plants growing but can bring damage to the crop if it's not tolerant enough. Lastly is that they need to resist plant viruses. Plant viruses are parasites that can completely destroy crops and bring a great loss if they were to do so. Aside from that, GMOs have also been now adjusted to thrive in harsh climates such as droughts and extreme heat. Now that we have seen GMOs altered to be in different climates, let's move on to how they can be altered to have other great qualities. Some of these crops have been altered to fit nutrient goals. Certain countries around the world, such as Cambodia and Vietnam, were having problems getting enough vitamin A. In the past, children would have to eat up to 10 pounds of rice per day just to meet their nutrient goals. Scientists then came up with golden rice, which contained 23 times more vitamin A than just regular rice. Golden rice contains a set of genes to make beta-carotene, which is a chemical that helps turn the crops make vitamin A while inside the body. That same chemical has been used on carrots to make sure that they stay orange. Other traits consist of having increased attractiveness, enhanced flavor, and having a longer shelf life. Scientists are constantly always looking on how to make GMO crops better and how they can serve more purpose to the world. As the world continues to grow in numbers, we must find ways to grow more food. With the creation of genetically modified crops, the world can use these inventions to its advantage, rather than letting this idea fall out of it. Like many things in the world, everything can have its downside. As a collective, we must either try to further advance these creations or find another solution to fight world hunger. GMOs are a great way to help this issue and shouldn't be frowned upon. Science is constantly always evolving, so even if there is the chance of GMOs causing problems to the body, scientists and engineers will find ways to fix the problem. So as of right now, instead of looking at the rarity that GMOs can do, we should look at the real issues going on.